Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. Oh, we are a couple in love. I am Moshe Kasher. I'm a husband.
My name's Natasha.
And you are?
A wife.
That's right. Don't you forget it.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
It does.
I'm a wife in a pandemic.
What's that mean?
It's not good.
Oh, it's not? Tell me more.
It's challenging.
Yeah, I guess it's not great. I think you might be going through some, what's the word? Paranoia? Would that be fair to say?
Well, I saw this guy outside the house and I thought he was maybe like staring at the house.
She saw a man outside of the house staring at the house.
Yeah.
Got real freaked out. And
well, I recognized him.
Right. It was somebody from your past.
Yes.
And hopefully this person isn't listening to the podcast right now. But if you are, I just quickly want to give a rundown of the inventory at the house. Since the pandemic started, I have purchased 2 AR-15s, combined them with duct tape. It's a AR-30.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I have 4 sawed-off shotguns. I have 9 German Shepherds. Now, if you're listening to the podcast and you heard the episode where we talked about not getting the German Shepherd, just be cool right now. We're trying to assuage something. I got 9 German Shepherds. I got Klaus, von Heederstroffen, Little Adolf, Himmler, and 4 others. Now, I also have some C4 explosive.
And we also have 2 big TVs.
We got 2 big TVs.
Don't people want TV? Oh, I see. Don't people want to steal things too?
I'm trying to discourage people from breaking in,
right,
but you want to say what we do.
No.
In reality, what we do have is we've got a pound of beautiful Bolivian flake cocaine. We have a kind of a box of just raw rubies under no lock and key. We have a very simple way to get into the house. There's a window on the first floor that says "Do not open." That's the one you open. You can crawl right in.
Okay, well, I just was like, oh my God, I hope that person isn't going to come like stalk us.
5 days later, a package arrives at the house. I would call it a giant package. And I intercept it. I open it up and it says, it's a gigantic wooden plaque that someone has purchased on Etsy. And it says something like welcome to the Johnsons. I'm not going to say what name it is, but it's like in the font is the the font that makes you think of like a 50-year-old golf wife in like Pismo Beach.
I wanted
that swooshy. It's not cursive, but it feels like it's a cousin of cursive.
It's horrifying. But I wanted to throw the scent off of our house.
Welcome to the Johnsons. So that the person will come to the house. The person who ostensibly has Googled this house and is like, oh, that's where Natasha lives, will come, see the Johnsons plaque and go, oh, it must be the Johnsons that live here. But the best part of it all, what were you going to say?
I was trying to think of how you can throw the scent off of someone so that they don't know that it's your house.
Johnsons, yeah.
Well, I thought that
an impenetrable security idea.
Well, the plaque is ugly. I give you that.
It's not just ugly. It's not affixed to the gate. So every time I open or shut the gate, I hear this like plank of wood clanging against the gate, just like Johnson's.
It was stupid.
Well, the stupid part to me, the funny part was it's in this swooshy cursive writing. And the actual name she picked starts with an L and ends with an O, and it's kind of swooshy. So it really, really, really looks like it says "Welcome to the Legeros."
It was like a late night decision.
It was a panic Etsy.
Because I was like, I could pick any name.
Right.
So I picked like my cousin's last name because it came to me.
Yeah, yeah.
But I didn't realize it had the same letters as my name.
Yeah, home of the Lejarans.
That was stupid. I'm losing it. What can I tell you?
I don't know. I want you to. How can I help?
Well, you could maybe go on the road.
You want me to leave? You're worried there's a stalker coming, and your solution is that maybe I should leave town? Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Just for like 4 days.
So what? So you can invite this
so I
predator
can
over?
breathe a little bit.
Why don't you leave?
Why don't you leave?
So you can breathe? The person who can't breathe, it's the onus is on them to leave. I'm about to kick back, watch more Marvel movies.
Don't you want to get a job?
A job?
Yeah, like go do stand up.
I mean, I'm not having the issue. I'm chilling over here. You don't see me coming through with a Life is Good plaque from the Life is Good store at the mall that says like "Welcome to the Karschnars," and I'm like, I think I saw an ex-girlfriend outside sniffing about.
Well, you know what? Sometimes I read things and they're like, everyone's doing the best they can. And I'm like, I don't think I'm doing the best I can. I think I'm doing a little worse than the best I can.
Natasha.
But that's the best I got, I guess, for that moment.
Natasha.
Yeah?
Why don't you, I think you should do ayahuasca.
You say that every month when my period's about to start.
Oh, is your period about to start?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Putting some pieces together over here. Okay.
So yeah, I'm doing the best that I did.
I'm doing the best. No, that's what you
quote.
said. I'm doing the best that I'm doing. Honey, don't worry about it. Because the truth is, if this is the best you got, it's not good enough. You ever heard the phrase falling asleep at the switch?
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever heard the phrase swing and a miss?
Yeah. That's what I'm doing?
You ever heard the phrase close but no cigar?
Yeah.
None of those apply to you. Honey, you're perfect. You're an angel. You're a vision of perfection on God's green earth.
I'm not.
Natasha?
Yeah.
Do you believe in God?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, I believe that, people have relationships with God and the universe speaks to you through circumstances. And I guess you call that God.
Mm. You know what I believe in?
What?
Mr. Johnson. Every night I pray to Mr. Johnson.
That's not even the name on the plaque.
It's not, but I was specifically forbidden to say the actual name on the plaque.
Whatever. Come stalk me. I don't really care.
Oh, hon, don't check out that hard. I need you to live. Don't stalk.
Oh, yeah, I care about my kid.
What about me?
Well, I thought you were going to maybe start going on the road.
What the fuck is happening? All right, before we get into dire circumstances in our relationship, I think the time has come for us to give some advice to another couple.
Okay, well, let's see if we can help.
Great idea. Let's do it. Patch somebody through. We are going to call Diana in Austin, Texas. Diana.
Hello.
Diana, how are you?
Good.
Living in the comedy capital of America, Austin, Texas, where every young comedian and older comedian is moving to restart their career. How is it? How are you? What's happening?
I mean, it's Austin. It's great, even in the pandemic.
Hell yeah. I like that confidence, that swinging Texas confidence. I also got to say I like the telemarketer Wayne Brady mouth mic. That's really cool. Not one caller has ever had one of those.
I mean, I prefer like fast food order
Okay,
headset,
I'm sorry.
but
I didn't mean to disrespect you. You look like you work at an Arby's. My mistake.
I do telemedicine visits, so this is the headset the hospital gave me.
Are you a doctor?
I am.
Wait, okay. As an aside, can we call? Are you a fan of the podcast?
Yeah.
You ever heard of like a fangirl? Like, you know how they'll like do anything for the they'll be like, I knitted my favorite rock star all these scarves, or I'm a glass blower, so I blew glass for Cypress Hill. I always send them my bongs, right? So,
You want to like call her about your itches and
yeah,
stuff?
I'm wondering if from now on, and I'm talking for a period of 8 to 10 years, we could do a little like, we just give you a call whenever we have any kind of medical issue whatsoever, and you provide us with free fan-based healthcare.
I mean, I'm a pediatrician, so
I'm
I
just a
don't know
big
how
kid at heart.
helpful.
I'm a big kid at heart. I got a spirit of a child.
So, Diane, should we be worried about the variants with our children?
Yeah, that's really hard, right? Because children kind of, for the most part, don't get super sick whenever whenever they get COVID, but they can still potentially pass it on. So I think just getting vaccinated is the most important thing.
We did get vaccinated, but the problem is we got the Sputnik vaccine. We went to St. Petersburg and got Sputnik. Is that bad?
Why did they call it Sputnik?
Because that was the Russian satellite, I guess. The first.
So they named their vaccine after the satellite?
After a 1960s satellite. I don't know what Russians are up to. Wait, Diana?
Yeah, Diana.
If you had to choose one oh, you can't say this as a medical professional.
Yes, you can.
What's the best vaccine?
The one that you can get.
Hey, there you go. Maybe that's a nice segue to your question. How can we help you who is clearly smarter than both of us combined? What made you call?
So the reason I'm calling is, so the problem is my husband doesn't want to say I love you.
What?
Your husband?
Moshe, that's insensitive.
Well, it's funny. The husband part kind of sends it to a new realm. It's like, oh no, we're not just dating. We are committed, a lifetime commitment.
Well, maybe he's damaged.
Let's hear more.
Not everyone says I love you every 4 seconds like you.
Oh, Natasha.
All right, go on, Diane. Don't feel bad.
And so, I mean, so the reason I'm calling is just, I kind of want to get y'all's perspective because I don't know if I'm being crazy and sort of hoping that he'll say it more or, yeah. So we've been married 2.5 years. We are both out of relationships that were, 10 years long. He's been married before. I have not.
Oh, he's like your rebound husband.
Or I'm his rebound wife.
I guess so. Okay.
So when we first started dating, and I think like the first time I said it, it was kind of like this awkward moment, right? It's the proverbial awkward moment of like, oh, he didn't say it back. And so his answer to me was like, well, I don't want to feel like I'm being forced to say it, like just because you say it, I don't want to like parrot it back, is what he says. And I guess at the time I was like, yeah, of course, I don't want to ever force you to do anything that you don't feel. So flash forward now to like when we've been in the pandemic and we're around each other for a lot. We're both frontline workers, so our life hasn't like completely changed, but we still spend all our time together. And he can go like 6 months and like never say it.
Has he said it before?
He does. Like he said it like on our wedding night.
Okay, and what happens when you say it to him?
Wait, hold on. When he went to, was it on your wedding night where you're like, okay, it's time to consummate the marriage. Let's lay in the wedding bed. And he was like, look, I'm not going to do that, but I will say I love you. And then he ran out of the room, or?
It was like kind of regular, appropriate timing,
Okay,
I guess.
all right.
What does he say when you say it to him?
Right on. Did he say right on?
He says, thank you.
Ew.
Yo, Diana.
What's wrong with him? Does he have like some tragedy or trauma in his life?
So I see a therapist just routinely. And so that's something she's like tried to have me analyze. She's like, does his family say it? And I'm like, I guess they aren't like super verbal, I love you people, but neither were my parents. I mean, they're, Chinese background descent. So like, they're not super affectionate either.
Well, I mean, are you familiar with the idea of love languages that people like different, like his obviously isn't words of affirmation, right?
Right. So I definitely don't like, he loves me. I know that he likes to do gestures and that's what he'll say. He's like, I just don't like saying it. I don't like being forced to say it. I'm afraid that it will lose meaning over time if I say it too much.
So therefore I will never say it and hold all of that meaning in a sacred vase.
Right.
So when you say he does gestures,
Like acts of service, kind of like he brings you things and does stuff for you.
Can I ask you, do you feel loved by him? Not just do you know he loves you, but do you feel loved by him?
I do. Yes.
Can you tell us how?
I mean, I don't know how to describe it. I just know that he loves me. I mean, you're right. He does acts of service.
Will he help you with something that you need help with?
Yeah, literally anything I ask for, he'll do it. He plans our trips whenever we go on trips. Like what does he do? Oh,
he does a lot around the house.
Yeah, he does most of the outdoor work.
Well, I have a handyman that does that, but I'm not convinced he loves me. Like, what is he affectionate toward you? Does he
cherish you?
Does he cuddle up to you? Does he
Yeah.
Does he get all Pfizer on you, if you know what I mean? Like, how's that going?
For sure. That part is great.
Okay, great. You guys got some Pfizer interactions, okay.
Yeah. I think it's just for me, and I've told this before, like it's important for me just to hear those words. And I guess I struggle with when he's like, it might wear off if I don't say it a lot, if I say it too much. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. That's weird.
Is he playful at all? Like, do you guys like laugh and stuff?
Yeah, for sure.
Because
like,
maybe you could like overdo it a little bit, and just say, I know you think it's going to wear off, but it would be important to me. And I'll say it to you 10 times and you have to just say it to me once. Or I don't know, like you want to hear it and he needs to I'm just kind of thinking out loud. But I do think that like for example, Moshe says, I love you to our daughter, I'd say like 400 times a day.
Okay.
And he says it to me maybe like 30 times a day. And like he grew up in a family where they said, I love you. Remember, you have a whole thing about
my thing with my mom was that my mom is literally my mom actually and your husband should meet. And maybe if they ran at each other physically as fast as both of them could and like hit each other, some of it could wear off, because my mom says I love you as almost a psychological weapon. Like growing up, my brother had this revelation once that growing up, we would tell my mom, like, this is just an example, this isn't real, but like if she would, let's say she stole $20 from us. Not that she did, but if she did, we'd go, Mom, what the fuck? You stole $20 from me. And she would say, I love you. And I'd be like, that's not the right answer. It doesn't matter if you love me. Where's my $20? So it's like the opposite. It's like this kind of like this waterfall of linguistic love, and what sounds like your husband has. I guess what I was asking all these questions to feel like, is your relationship, other than this sticking point, feel like a really good, loving, positive, nurturing relationship? Everything else is dialed, and then this thing is this weird block.
Right. Exactly.
Got it.
And so I guess I'm trying to decide if this is something I just need to drop.
No, because also what happens if you have a kid?
Right.
And I think it's really, I like how much Moshe is like affectionate and, he's very open with that. And like if a kid grows up never hearing the words I love you, I don't know that is great.
I would agree. And I think like you're probably right that if he's not going to say it to you, then he's probably not going to feel comfortable. He's got an issue.
That would be funny though if you had a kid and he was like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you,
Dad,
bye-bye, I love you.
Dad, you stole my $20. I love you.
I mean, I feel like there is some answer in like you just saying it to him more. And he's just like, as long as it's not making you feel like insecure or embarrassed,
There's a question. Does he seem uncomfortable when you say it?
Seems like it.
Yes.
He doesn't even like it when you say it.
Like it almost feels like or it looks like a deer in a headlight.
Sure.
And then he's like, thank you so much. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. I don't know what to do with that.
It sounds to me, Natasha hit the nail on the head in the beginning. There's something there. Who knows what it is? Maybe it's trauma. Maybe it's just like conditioning. Like you said, maybe his family was so withholding. And like, I was talking to somebody today about this. You said your family wasn't that loving, right? And wasn't that outwardly loving, and his family wasn't. But I was just talking to somebody about this today. Two people can grow up with the same set of circumstances, and their reaction to those circumstances can be wildly different. So you can say, I had this family where they weren't effusive, but I am effusive. But you don't know how it affected young what Dr. whatever, you know, you don't know what it was like for him. It could have warped that little part of his brain where everything else is dialed, but that part is atrophied.
And I also feel like you guys are married. So it's like you don't have that much to lose. Like, what if you found it? Because maybe he doesn't like to say it during sex. Maybe that's like really like too much for him. But maybe you could say it when you bring him his coffee, or I don't know. I mean, I would never say I love you to a man first, but I think that's cool that you did. I would just be, I'm like very scared and old fashioned. Like I just don't think I could have done something like that. It seems so horrifying. And then to have it never be like reciprocated.
I don't think that I have two feelings here. I have two.
You think that's dumb that I wouldn't say it first?
No, I just think it's funny that you said it to this woman who's clearly having like a vulnerable moment around that particular subject.
I mean, she's in a great relationship and a lot of people aren't. And so she's already ahead of the game. You know, she's willing to drop this.
Yeah.
But she wants it for herself. So it's like, if you want that, I just don't believe in like dropping an issue because it's easier for the man.
Right.
You know, and it's like, I also don't want you to like have to turn it into this big thing. That's why I'm like, my instinct is more like, how can you make it light and fun and like think of different ways to do it or say it or write it or like be like, check the box, or I don't know what, something like try different ways and just say, honey, this is just something that I like, in the same way that I don't know.
Do you need it, Diana?
I mean, yeah.
You need it.
As much as doing all the other things that he does is amazing, and it makes me feel loved. I also really love to just hear the words.
But isn't the whole thing with love languages? Isn't the whole thing? I mean, I'm not an expert on this topic because I'm kind of like a more of a street kind of gangster guy, and so I don't think about shit like this. But isn't the whole thing with love languages that they operate in two directions? There's the love language you use, and then there's the love language you need, right? So it's not just like, oh, I don't do that. Oh, that thing that you need, I don't fuck with that. I'm more of I'm a man over here. I do errands instead. Like,
but they're often the same. Like I'm always like bringing you coffee and doing things for you, and it's because that's what I want you to do to me.
I know, but what I'm saying is that's not my thing, right? Whatever.
Yours is like you want to just talk and say you love someone.
Whatever mine is. If yours is I need acts of service, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Even though that's not my instinct, right? Or whatever it is you need gifts.
I
right?
like gifts.
She likes gifts, and they have to be like all precious stones, emeralds, rubies, sapphires, like, right? But she needs gifts. That's a part of her thing. It's not my instinct. I don't like buying people gifts. I think it's art. It feels eerily similar to the way your husband talks about saying I love you. It feels like there's an artifice to giving gifts that feels like commodifying love and
Moshe has issues, and he's
no, and that's fair, yeah. But over the years, Natasha's like explained to me like, well, that's a part of how I feel love is if you give me little things. To me,
on my birthday, it's not like I just want presents. Just like I had to tell him like the third birthday we spent together, I'm like, it would be nice if you got me a present. And he's like, well, I just like to give presents when I feel like it. And I just kind of had to keep, reaffirm, like, just I had to keep reminding him that wasn't good enough.
In a really cool, very chill way, she would remind me. In a very non.
But it wasn't. It was like, I'm not gonna like not have a birthday present ever. But
hold on. That was the point I was gonna make.
They are similar.
They're similar. It doesn't quite feel like love to me to give somebody a physical object that I bought on Amazon, but. I recognize that that's what she needs, and so I've worked on that over the years. Like, okay, even though this isn't my instinct, I should just get her something. If I see flowers, if I go grocery shopping and I see flowers there, I go, shit, she likes flowers. I'll sometimes remember to throw flowers in the thing because she likes getting them. So the whole part of being in a relationship is that not only that you indulge your own instincts and you go like, this is what makes me comfortable, so that's what I do. You also go, this is what makes her feel loved, so that's what I'll try to do. He's never going to be a dude that's like, you're never going to be married to my mom. I hate to say it.
And that's okay, like he said, well, I don't want you to like count all of them. I'm like, well, the only reason I'm counting now is because it's so few and far between. But if it becomes sort of part of the natural language, like you're right, we'll go probably several days and never say I love you. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not consistent enough that you notice the lack of it, or I notice the lack of it.
God, I feel like someone would know the answer to this. It feels like you could trick him so easily into just learning how to say this, but I don't.
I have some ideas, but maybe
Okay.
I'm not the one. You're right. There does feel like there's
I feel like if I asked a therapist, they would
well,
understand.
there we go. Have you guys ever gone to a couples counselor?
Right. We've talked about it just to kind of enhance our overall communication with one another, but he's a little bit leery of that as well. I'm all about therapy, so.
Oh, I know what you could do. I've done this before. You could threaten him with therapy unless he starts saying, I love you.
Well, the thing about therapy is like he needs to hear what this sounds like to an outsider, because this is fucking ridiculous. Straight up, this is ridiculous.
And it's hard for me to imagine that not saying I love you to your wife doesn't like have other ramifications. Like it seems like impossible. He's just like a totally cool husband in every way, but he just is like, I don't want you to keep score. I'll say it to you once every 7 months.
But you're
Does he
saying
sound like that? Maybe you could just play him this podcast.
I mean, that would be a thing. But I think he needs to hear from a professional just what it sounds like. I mean, the answer is so obvious. The answer is not your husband needs to get comfortable and happy saying I love you. The answer is your wife needs to be told she is loved, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not, you can't change him. He'll always have some weird PTSD from whatever bizarre,
Sure.
wooden family he was raised with. But you are not wooden. You are a woman of flesh and blood and a telemarketing headset. You are an Arby's worker.
And you want to have a loving home.
Yeah. So here's my thoughts.
And you always hear about those kids who are like, I only heard my mom say I love you to my dad once. Or my mom never touched me. My dad, I never heard the word love come out of his mouth. Like you always hear that from people, like a lot of like older people, I think
Yeah.
that's how they were raised. And like, it's so sad. And you're like, how could anyone have a family like that? Like you have to kind of like be really kind of tackle it now.
So here's what I think.
Okay.
I think couples counseling 100%. It would take one
But
session.
they have a good relationship.
Yeah, it's called triage. It's not called. Do you know anything about triage,
Yeah.
lady? Hey, doc, you know anything about triage? It's like it's a pointed therapy session where you talk about one thing, and he gets to hear out loud how important it is to you to be told that you are loved, and then he gets to explain his logic and have a doctor go like, yeah, that doesn't work, and then so that's thing one, right? Do you agree?
Yeah, and I also think she could explain to him the thing you said. It's not about what you need; it's about what I need.
Yeah.
Because that's expressing your needs to people. I think is part of being in a relationship.
And I think don't usually make this this kind of advice on this podcast. I think you gotta like straight like dominate this fool. Like I think you need to like. I'm serious. Like I think he just needs to like get straight like just bitch slapped. Like it's like you need, this is what I need, and you will do it. And if you want to make it every morning when we're eating breakfast together, or every night before we go to bed, once a day, like it doesn't matter if you're comfortable. You got to, and I think like wear him down. You can start doing a thing where when he doesn't say it, you keep saying it until he says it. Like you got to go kind of like Sybil on him. You know what I mean?
Has he ever initiated it?
Yes.
Every year on your anniversary, right?
Right. It also feels weird, right? Like and that's putting him in kind of a bad spot, but it feels funny because I'm so not used to hearing it that I'm like, what's going on?
Well,
Why are you saying that now?
Well, let me help you with that. When he says that to you, that's when you like give him a blowjob.
with the
Fair
headset,
enough.
with the headset on, though.
I mean,
That'll be really
that's
important.
not when you're like, what are you saying? Like you want to encourage that. You want to like
Sure.
encourage that behavior.
That's really smart. I think like let him know that there's a transactional availability in your relationship, that every time he says it, he gets a blowjob.
No, but
I know I'm fucking with you. I think that's really smart, Natasha. Like if you forget sex, but like sex or whatever are so effusive when you get that. I mean, but obviously this is fucked up because like you shouldn't have to fucking be effusive when somebody says something as rote as I love you to their wife. But if you respond in a way that's like, you just made me feel so special, thank you so much, Well, he might recoil. Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, he might be like, hey, I didn't mean it to be that, whatever. I'm like, what about? God, this is hard. What about like some coupons? You know what? Like when you were a kid and you would give your parents like a
Your
coupon,
parents like a coupon, I'll make you breakfast or something.
yeah. Maybe you do like 10 "I love you" coupons from him, right? And then you can cash them in anytime, and then he'll kind of like get used to it. And then, he just
You
has
think the man who doesn't want to say I love you is going to want to redeem coupons? It's not called coupons. It's coupons.
Coupons?
That's how we say it.
Coupons. What do you say in Texas?
Coupons.
Coupon. Laura, what do you say? Damn, does anybody say coupon? Am I just stupid?
People who've never had to use coupons. All right. Well, listen, we're going to keep thinking about this, but I just think like, you know what? Who knows what the answer is going to be? But right now, at least we know the answer is you telling him and expressing to him in the right moment, in a nice way, what you need. And not when you're in a fight, and not when you say it and he says something weird. Just like totally just, and also maybe he'll step up to the plate. You can just let him know. Like, I was thinking about it, and, it's not really about you. It's kind of about me and what I like. And it's just something that I would like to hear a little more frequently. And if he doesn't like step up and do it, then maybe it is time for like some therapy or something. But I just think opening the gates to the conversation and not just wanting to stop asking for what you want.
Yeah, because my instinct is to say, oh, it's time to retaliate. It's time to find something that he likes, a kind of love that he needs, and just withhold that from him. But I think that kind of war is kind of like actually could turn into this bizarre dynamic in your relationship that would just really be unhealthy. I think Natasha's right. Like, you have to have a conversation, because the thing is, what I've gotten from this conversation is there's a part of you, tell me if I'm wrong here, Doc, but I'm going to analyze you. There's a part of you that's like, maybe it's my problem that I need this from him. Maybe I'm not being reasonable. Maybe I should be chill and cool about this.
Right. I think there's a part of me that's like, well, maybe I'm being unreasonable. Like, I don't want to nag him. I don't want to harp on him.
But no,
maybe I'm missing something.
But no, the answer is from any normal perspective. The answer is no. Like the excuse he's given you isn't good enough to justify the thing he's withholding from you. Like if he said to you, here's the thing about the phrase "I love you." Every time I say it, I'm reminded of my childhood kidnap tormentor that kept me in a basement for 9 years and would say "I love you," while he tortured me. You would go, I don't expect you to say "I love you." That's fine, no problem. But he's like, it makes me feel ooky. I don't like the vibe of it. It feels artificial. That's not a good enough reason to not tell your wife "I love you," even if you don't like doing it. So he needs to know this is, just like Natasha said, this is something I need, not something I want. I don't need you to feel good about it. I don't need you to do it all the time, but I need it to be something regular, because in reality, being affectionate, verbally affectionate, is as important as being physically intimate, or as being helping with chores around the house. Like, this isn't, you deserve to be told you're loved.
And you're so sweet and gorgeous, and it's like he's, it's part of life, you have to be able to express your thoughts, and it's not that big of a deal to love someone.
Yeah. And it's not that big of a deal to say it.
Maybe you should tell him that you love him when he's like really vulnerable, like sick or taking a shit or something, and then he'll like start to I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you can say "I love you" and I'd like you to say it back. That could be a good place to start. I honestly think having him talk to somebody, like forcing the issue. Don't force the "I love you" issue. Force the "we need to talk to someone together" issue. And then be really honest about what you need. I think that's the next step.
But before you do that, I think it would be good to like put it in his court and see if he can tell you a little more often. And if he doesn't, then maybe do the therapy thing. Because you don't want him to just say it back to you. You want him to initiate it. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Do you think you can do it? Can you force him to go to therapy?
Maybe.
You have to. I mean, what does he give you if he won't go to therapy with you? He won't tell you he loves you. What do you have? What do you live with a contractor? It's like, no, it can't even help. Like, if he was married to a non-doctor, he could be like, well, I'm a doctor. I provide that service. He doesn't even get that. You can prescribe yourself your own oxys. You know what I mean? So I think you have to take this seriously because there's a communication
for sure.
thing. I think don't drop it. Don't be chill. You're not being unchill by needing this. I would need it. Anybody would need it. You deserve it.
But you can still be soft and loving and sweet and funny when you ask him and tell him that you need it.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what we think.
Okay.
Okay. Well, good luck, honey.
Wait, before we let you go, Diana, we want to tell you something.
We love you.
We love you, Diana.
Aw, thanks, guys. I love y'all too.
All right, thank you. And thanks for the work. Thanks for the work that you're doing on the front line, and helping kids, and thank you for that too. I know it's not been an easy year for people like you, so keep working in them hospitals and helping us.
Well, thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to y'all.
Same here.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
That was a rough one. I'm upset.
I feel like there's an answer, and I don't know what it is because they're already married.
Yeah. Well, right in.
I wouldn't have married someone who didn't say I love you.
It's bizarre, but you know what? I mean, I do think
poor girl thinks it's her fault.
Well, that was the part where I was like, you can't go away thinking that it's not your fault. But people are unusual. People have weird areas, and it's not. I don't think that that it's irredeemable that a person has an issue. What's irredeemable is when a person won't work on their issue. That's what I think. If a person's like, I'm not going to give you what you need, and I refuse to talk about it or work on it, that's more of a broken situation than when a person's like, I'm fucked up, but.
Well, people can't always admit that they're fucked up.
Well, people shouldn't be married to people that won't admit
and
that.
Sometimes when people are fucked up, they don't realize that they are.
I know, and that's why you need somebody to say, hey, you're fucked up. Don't you think? I think. What do you guys think? Write us. Let us know. Natasha, would you like to hear some secrets?
That'd be nice.
I have a secret for you guys. I've been meaning to get this off my chest. This was my second job ever, and I think I was 19 at the time. It was a Korean radio station, and it was full of old men. I was the only female employee, and my job was to answer the phones and make coffee. And they made me feel pretty shitty. So one day I was pretty upset with the way I was being treated. So I decided to make their coffee very special. And I got the water from the toilet instead of the water fountain that I usually do. And I made them coffee that day, and maybe a couple times after that. Not too many times, but just a couple. And it just felt so good to serve them my special coffee that way. Thank you. Love the show.
I love it. I hate when people are just like mean. Like, why are you rude to the intern who's like you're serving you? What's wrong with people?
I honestly don't know.
You don't like it?
No. I don't like being mean people. I'm like, what is it that makes people mean? What do you get? What exactly do you get out of it? I mean, I get being like mean, like making fun of someone. That's fun.
It's just old men who want to like treat people like shit.
But why?
Because they get off on it because they don't have anything else.
But that's not something.
Well, I don't know. I've been treated like shit a bunch. Like you're like an underling.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an ego thing.
I've had situations like that.
Very male. I'm sure there's many women who do it, but it's very male thing.
You're right. Women are largely known for their interpersonal kindness with people.
I think they are more than men.
You think women are nicer than men?
Yes.
That's interesting. I don't think
nicer.
Yeah, like kinder.
Yes.
Huh.
I mean, are you talking about like women being bitches to each other? Is that the thing you're kind of referencing?
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to think if I agree that men are. There's a lot of things that men are
like whenever a woman steps in, then all of a sudden, like things get figured out.
But that's not the same as being nice.
I think women are nicer than men.
Hold on, I'm not sure what I think. I'm trying to process what I think here. I mean, in the fact that men are violent and assaulty and do all the weird sex stuff, that's not nice. But I'm not. So I'm not talking about that. I'm trying to think: are women nicer than men? I don't know that I don't know. I don't know that I think that.
Men don't like to be told what to do. Like think about like male assistants. Like men aren't that comfortable like being told what to do, and you know what I mean? Like, but women are just kind of like, okay, I guess I'll do that.
Well, that's being like docile or
Yeah, but
servile.
like men take advantage of that.
Sure. But I still don't think we're talking about like being nice, interpersonally nice.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not sure. God, get back to me on that. Should we hear another secret, or should we hash this out? Maybe I'm wrong. Are women nicer than men? They're certainly more. God, I don't know.
I mean, obviously, people are individuals.
Yeah, but if we're doing some lumping,
we don't do that anymore.
Okay, we're unlumping.
We're not doing that.
Let's play another secret.
Hi, Moshe and Natasha. So one of my biggest secrets is that whenever I'm having a bad day, I go on Instagram and I troll Marjorie Greene's supporters and her Instagram page, and I dislike everything, comment, start fights with her supporters, and I become a troll. And it's a great way for me to get my angst out. Thanks. Bye.
I mean, I guess if it doesn't bring you angst, my problem whenever I'm fighting with someone on the internet, even if it's somebody I know is like a loser, like a racist loser, I still feel uneasy and angsty. I don't feel like joy or triumph. I just feel like nasty all day. So if you're really getting joy out of it, I support it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it would lead to more stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't that a Q person?
She is like a Q person. She's the worst. I mean, she's the worst. Just dog shit. A straight up human plop of dog doo-doo.
One of the women who aren't nice.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Are there any other really wild Q supporters in office? Oh yeah, that Lorna Bobbitt or whatever. Another lady.
Well, I don't think that's sustainable, but I like that it's giving you a
chubby.
A chubby.
If it does give you joy, hey, why not? I just feel like negativity, this is my thought on this. Negativity, even towards those that deserve the negativity, is still negativity, and you're just pumping more of it into the world. Not that I'm saying it's a bad thing to do. It just doesn't feel healthy. For me, it doesn't feel healthy.
I hear you.
But you know what? Fuck it. If it brings you great joy, then you keep doing it. Okay, Code Monkey? Let's play the next secret.
Hi, Moshe. Hi, Tosh. Love the pod. Here's my secret. I am in a relationship with a Christian man. I am also Christian, but probably not as much as he is, or at least rule following as much as he is. And he requested that we no longer have sex and we just do other things.
Oh my God.
And
break up with him.
I'm okay with that, but I am a sexual person, so I need a little bit more. And my secret is sometimes when I'm sleeping next to him, I masturbate to the sound of him licking his lips in his sleep. It's really embarrassing, and I've never told him because I don't want him to be freaked out, but that's my secret. Again, love the pod. Love you guys. Bye.
He should be so lucky.
As to what?
His girlfriend's like masturbating to him, like licking his lips.
Can I ask a question?
What?
Is that how Christians sleep?
How?
I'm like, what? How much lip licking is occurring that she's able to get a nut off to this?
Wait, they already had sex? And then
sounds like it.
That is like,
and then you pull back. It's
that
like,
is a deal breaker.
Isn't the sin done? I mean, didn't the sin occur?
What's the worry?
What a funny idea, though. It is a funny idea that there's a God that's up there going like, fingering only blowjobs. God don't like penetration.
Well, you could say that with anything that people do. Like, God doesn't want you to eat pork, or God doesn't want you to do, you know, it's everyone has their own individual.
No, the pork thing you couldn't say that with because that's Judaism.
Oh, and there's no God in Judaism?
No, it's correct. So, yeah, duh. Bad example, Natasha. No, I guess what I'm saying is not like it's funny to have strictures on your religion, but it's a funny idea to be like, oh, I figured out like it's all good if we like I'm going to just eat your ass and God will be cool with that. But if I actually penetrate you, then God is going to raise an eyebrow and be like, no, none of that. You got to just analingus only here in God country.
I mean, I just think that someone who you've already had sex with and experienced that kind of intimacy, and then they want to go back to a different thing. But I don't know. She doesn't seem to care.
She said she's down with it, but she likes to masturbate to the sound of him licking his lips in bed. Do I lick my lips in bed?
I don't know, honey. I fall asleep before you.
Well, I'll tell you what you don't do in bed.
Masturbate to the sound of your...
I don't know if you do that. What I know is that you don't do a lot of lip licking.
Oh, that's so hard to like.
She doesn't care, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that kind of thing just makes me angry.
By the way, why is it even a secret? If he woke up while you were doing that, the lip licking.
Yeah, masturbating to lips is allowed.
Exactly. That's not penetration. That's that. God loves that. God's like, one thing I am for is lip licking jerkin. You gotta rub one out to the lippery lickery.
So people who are Christian like that, it's because their parents are, right?
I don't know. No, not necessarily. Sometimes they're born again.
I bet you it's mostly people whose parents told them that.
No.
Really?
I mean, Christianity is...
Adults who are like, I'm going to take back our sex, and now I'm just going to
it's a part of their
fuck you in
religion.
the ass because I believe in God.
I wonder if they are doing anal.
Or Jesus.
Will you give us a call back? Let us know if you're doing anal. Tosh, what do you think? Should we do one more secret or should we do it?
I think we should take a call.
Let's take another call.
Okay, we're going to call Mike in Cape Town, South Africa.
Is that your South African accent?
Yes.
Let me hear it.
South Africa.
Can you do it when we get Mike on the line?
I can only say a few words.
Okay, hold on.
It's like Australian.
Hold on. Let's just see what he thinks.
I'm sure he doesn't want to hear my accent, honey.
You're probably right.
Hey, Mike.
Oh, can't hear him. Can't
hear you.
That doesn't sound good at all. That sounds vaguely American, vaguely English, and vaguely Australian.
Hello, Mike.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Yes. How are you?
Oh, good. How are you?
Oh, very good.
What's happening in Cape Town these days?
Yeah, how's Cape Town?
Is it unmasked?
Well, it's fine. We've got a curfew at 12 p.m., so we can't really go out late.
12 p.m.?
Restaurants are fine. Sorry, no. 12 in the morning, 12 at night.
Oh, gotcha. I gotcha. Okay.
And what's up with restaurants? They're open or no?
Open. Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's nice.
It's so strange. You can go to restaurants wearing a mask, but once you sit down, you can just take it off and continue with your life.
That's a math that nobody's really wants to confront or figure out.
We were hoping that the South African government had maybe done some more logical figuring out.
No,
I think the idea is that we'll all wear our masks as symbols, but we know that we're okay with the person we're sitting with.
Mike, can we ask you a question?
Of course.
Natasha and I are desperate to go on an international adventure, and we would like to come stay with you. Would that be okay?
I can maybe recommend some Airbnb.
Whoa. All this free entertainment we're providing to the people of South Africa. Hey, Cape Town's the nice part, right? Isn't that the place that's supposed to be beautiful?
Cape Town is great.
Yeah.
I just moved here like 2 months ago. It's fab.
From where?
From Johannesburg.
And Johannesburg less beautiful?
Less fab.
Less fab, really dangerous.
Okay, got it. I want to go to South Africa. I want to go to Cape Town. You know what? They have surfing in South Africa, and you have to contend with being eaten by great whites.
Ooh, you should go do it.
Oh, Mike. Okay, how can we help? What's happening? Tell us. What's your issue?
I've been seeing this guy recently, and it's been fine. It's been great. But we've kind of gotten more serious in the last couple of months, the last 2 months. And I'm off dating apps, and I know he's not, and we've spoken about it. But the way our relationship is going, the way we're acting is kind of not the same as, because we're taking it very casually. It just feels like the way we act isn't leveled with the way we label our relationship. And I don't know if I'm being cynical or he doesn't want to get off dating apps. He's not seeing other people. Am I being cynical, or is just red flags that I'm kind of missing? Is it me? Am I crazy?
Your relationship feels like it's a serious relationship.
Yeah, like we go away for weekends together. We spend a lot of time together. We see each other a couple of times a week. We
Got
sleep
it.
over.
You say I love you.
No.
Oh God, Natasha. They don't even say that in South Africa ever. No one does. Okay, wait.
Do you make a lot of future plans with each other?
Yeah,
Okay.
to an extent.
I mean,
but
this
not
is-
like buying a boat and having kids. That's crazy.
This is do you have a thought? I have a thought. I mean, this is how long you been dating?
Like 3 months, 4 months.
Oh, it's early yet, huh? But it's feeling like the time to have the conversation. Have you had the conversation where you're like, I would like us to get off of dating apps?
We have, and he said, well, I'm not going on dating apps to meet people. Then I just said, so why are you going on there?
Wait,
like, I don't know if that's kind of...
Why is
like,
he
I'm trying to meet some more penises.
And like what? Wait, but that was a South African accent?
No.
I didn't nail it. Wait, why he's claiming he goes on dating apps to what?
To have sex.
I don't know. He said he's not seeing other people, so I don't know why would you then want to go on dating apps. I don't know if that. It feels like it's a red flag. I don't know if I'm either being lied to or there's something wrong with them. I'm not sure, but it just doesn't make me feel comfortable. You know.
I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable if I was off the dating apps that you probably met on, right?
Yeah. So it's not that I told him I don't want you to be on dating apps. It's like. He said, don't worry about me being on dating apps. It's not that serious. It's just...
Wait. He brought it up apropos of nothing. He's like, by the way, don't worry about all of the many, many dating apps that I'm on. Just know that I'm here with you, my friend. No?
We were speaking about it. We had a conversation. And then he said, don't worry about me being on dating apps. I'm not seeing other people. It's nothing you should be worried about. But I can't help think, why are you on there then? It doesn't make sense.
If I were in your position, I would get on some dating apps.
What, fight fire with fire?
Well, I mean, you guys should both be getting off them at the same time. It's not fair that, he's not on them, but the guy he's dating is like actively scrolling and looking for new people all the time. Like that doesn't feel like an even playing field. And I think that if I were dating someone who was you see him on the apps, I would be like, okay, well, I'm going to get on too. I know that's hard for you because you don't want to, but I don't know.
I think
that's probably immature.
I think this can be remedied simply. I would say this is like an orange flag. This is like, it's not yet a red flag. It's approaching red flag. But what has to happen is you guys have to find a date yourself. Like, what is the date at which point I will say, I need this? Not, it's like, I don't want to see other people, but I am getting so serious about this that I need him to stop being on the dating app. And then at that point, it's not even really about an ultimatum. It's about having like a real conversation, not where he goes, hey, by the way, and this is my South African accent.
Don't worry about it.
This is my South African accent. By the way, don't worry about the dating apps, okay? I'm not seeing other people. No, you just say, let's say it's your 5-month anniversary, whatever, it's up to you. Then you say, hey, I don't want us to be on dating apps. I want us to be exclusive. And then if he says, I don't want that, then it becomes a red flag. You just went from orange to red. Now it's time to get the fuck out because you're gonna get hurt, right? But at this point, it's
3 months is not that long of a time though. I feel like, it's going well, but
it's not that long. But the way that we act in our relationship just makes it feel, it's kind of confusing. Where time isn't really, the time we've been together is kind of not leveled with the way we are together, if that makes sense.
And is it being initiated from him? Is he just very like intimate and very like you feel like you've known him forever? And is he initiating all of this?
Yeah, we act kind of like boyfriends, and it's really nice. I fall into that really easily because it's comfortable. I feel comfortable with him. We have great plans. We get on really well. We like the same things. We go to the same restaurants. It's just really, he likes my dogs, which is great. And like, that's kind of,
and
feels really comfortable.
You have 9 Rhodesian Ridgebacks, right? That's what, I don't think I'm speaking out of class to say that everybody in South Africa has a Rhodesian Ridgeback. Wait. This is what I think. Do you have a thought, Tasha?
How long after dating him did you delete your account or stop going on it?
like 2 months in.
Pretty normal. Okay, I have a thought. Here's the thought. I think you're thinking about this the wrong way. You're thinking this relationship is so nice and feels so intimate that it behooves him to get off of the dating app. He's got to want to get off the dating app because of how intimate I feel. But actually, another way to look at it is this relationship is so nice and so intimate that it behooves me to tell him what I need from a relationship this intimate. So forget whether or not, because his timeline is different than yours. He might be scared of getting off the apps. He might be.
Can't he wait like 3 more months?
Yeah,
though?
yeah. I'm saying he might be freaking out about like, oh God, I really like this guy, but like if I get off the dating apps, then it becomes official. And I don't know, that's weird. We haven't even said I love you yet. Like you don't know what his timeline is. He's got a different experience than you. So what's in front of you is not him changing. What's in front of you is having it's not a weird conversation to say, I want to be exclusive. And you just haven't had that conversation yet. So that's what you need to have. And yeah, maybe Natasha's right. Maybe you wait another month and then you say, okay, it's been 4 months or 5 months or 6 months or whatever date you choose. I want to have the talk where we say, let's shut this shit down. You and me for the rest of time. Go to these cafes.
Yeah, but what if it seems like he already had a conversation like that and he was like, don't worry about me on the app, sweetie.
No, I don't think so.
That's exactly what happened.
Is that what happened, really?
Yeah. Yes.
Did you say, I want to be serious and committed to you? And he said, don't worry about the apps?
I just said it doesn't feel normal because what are we doing if you're still on dating apps? Because I thought if you're on dating apps, it just feels like this doesn't feel that serious to you, but it feels serious to me.
Yeah, and then you feel crazy and cheated, you know? It's like, what? You're like supposed to be like thinking about this relationship, but someone's still like opening themselves up to anyone. That's not fair.
Yeah, I know. So I don't know. It's not, nothing's wrong. I don't feel like I'm being cheated on or anything because I don't think you can. Like, what are the boundaries there? You don't know. But I feel everything is fine until what if in a year's time I'm still like, why are you on dating apps? And he's still like, don't worry about me. I'm fine. I'm not going on dates.
If in a year's time you haven't had a conversation with him where you say, I need us to be exclusive, then yeah, there's a red flag and it's you. It's your self-esteem. Why have you not had a conversation where you're like, we've been dating for a year. I need this to be exclusive. It's clear to me that it's not, he's still in his fuckboy shit and you're in this sweetheart shit. And you, at some point, will need to transition him into sweetheart shit full time.
It's hard.
Or walk the other way.
Yeah. So it's just kind of figuring out how to do that. We'll just talk to him, and I'll give it a couple of months, and I'll see how it works.
Would you be okay with opening up your side of the relationship if he doesn't want to?
I kind of feel wrong for doing that because I need to, like, when I invest my time in someone, it's kind of, I don't want to be fucking around with other people because it confuses me. And no, I like him, and that's what I want to do.
That's exactly what you should tell him too. I think that's a great opener, like, because you're being really honest. See, I wouldn't be that honest. I would just be like, okay, well, if you're not getting on, then I have 5 dates this week.
You would just make it up, you mean?
No, I would get on the apps and start dating and, doing my thing.
Oh, they could have dates and leave it on retroactively in the next week or two.
I had this conversation with Natasha. It was the first time I ever had that conversation with a person ever in my life where I was like, we need to shut this down. I didn't say it like that. I was like, do you think we should be exclusive? And I was the one that was uncomfortable because I'd never done it before. She'd been exclusive with people before. It was my first time. And there was a lot of energy behind it for me. I was very scared to have the conversation. But I had it because I knew from watching romantic movies and living in the world that that's a part of some people's, it's a pretty common conversation. The should we see other people conversation. And if I
don't like his response to you.
I don't like it either. But I don't think you've gone, am I wrong? Maybe I'm misunderstanding you. Have you had a thing where you said, I need us to not see other people?
I just said, well, if you tell me that you're not seeing other people, I need you to not be on Grindr or not be on dating apps or not be on, platforms. And then he said, he said he doesn't think that's the problem. He can see other people whether he's on dating apps or not. But then you're still on dating apps. I don't understand that. That's kind of
okay.
And did you ask him? Did you have a follow-up question with that?
Yeah, I just say it kind of, well, then we need to change our relationship. Then we need to be more casual and not see each other this often, because it's just is confusing. We need to label up the behavior with what we label our relationship.
Right.
I gotta say, his response just moved the flag from orange to like an amber or a magenta. It's approaching red right now. Like, that's a crazy response. Like,
maybe he needs a little more time. That's why it's like you're enjoying yourself right now and you guys are having fun. Like, you could give it a couple more months.
That is classic gaslighting, where you go, I don't want to see other people, and I think that you should get off the apps if we're going to be exclusive. And he goes, look, the thing isn't the apps, because I could be fucking people anywhere, so I'm going to stay on the app. It's such a weird, like, turning your own logic against you when you're making a very reasonable request, which is don't be on dating apps if we're in an exclusive relationship. And he's like, the life is an app. The world's an app. Cape Town is an app when you think of it. I think, yes. I think in 1 month's time, it's time to have a conversation where you say, I really like you and I want to see you exclusively, but I can't if you're going to be on apps. And then if he says no at that point, red flag, it's not magenta anymore. It's turned blood red, and you need to go.
And at the very least, you need to get on the apps then and, date other people, and maybe he'll come around. But, you won't know until you do that. And I think, like, just letting him win that argument is a mistake.
Yes.
I'll pick a fight this weekend.
That sounds perfect. That's what our advice was. Do it quickly. Do it now. Pick a fight.
But that's not not good. His response.
If he breaks it off.
I just like, I'm not crazy, right? That's not me. It is not normal to respond that way.
No, it's classic. It's classic, like, emotional mystery. It's gaslighting. You were saying, I want to be exclusive, and he was saying, yes, exclusive is great. I love exclusive. You can be exclusive while on Grindr. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah, I guess you theoretically can, but why would you need it? If this conversation doesn't go your way and you guys end up splitting and you become heartbroken and need just some people to comfort you and a shoulder to cry on, Natasha and I could come out there. We could quickly be there. We'll stay with. We're trying to get free lodging, so we'll stay with you. We love. You know what? We love restaurants too. We love restaurants.
We're not trying to get free lodging, Moshe. We stayed at a nice hotel in Cape Town.
What's that?
I have a 1-bedroom, so it would be a little bit hard.
All right, fine. We won't stay with you. Here's my advice. If it doesn't work out and you do become heartbroken and you lose your sense of self, just dive into the sea of South Africa and find an octopus friend and just really bond with that little octopus and have him guide you into a new version of humanity.
I'll dive into the sea of Grindr.
Yeah. Find yourself an octopus in Grindr.
Well, good luck, and I hope that this guy realizes how cool you are and that you guys have a special connection. And I think really, like, putting it out there is the best you can do, and not letting him, like, say crazy things without you getting to respond to it. Like, don't let him win this.
Yeah, because you know what? Natasha's right. You're cute, you're nice, you're smart, and you're not being emotionally weird or needy at all. It's like, you're a catch. And
you should remind him of that.
Yeah. What is it? Some fucking...
I should every day.
Some trade on Grindr that's some rando that he met. It's like, what? No, it's all about Mike. I'm going... You know what? Actually, Mike, I'm going to come out there without Natasha and just stay with you. Okay, and I'll get off the apps. I haven't been on apps in years because I'm a married man. But all right, good luck.
Good luck, honey.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
He was sweet. It's funny, this pandemic.
It's rough out there.
Yeah, this pandemic's winding down, and people are kind of like this, like, I don't know if I want to give you too much of the emotional commitment.
Is that what it is?
No, I mean, not with the married person, but I think that was just so obviously like a person who is emotionally a bit stunted, because I recognize that in myself. It's like a person that is falling for someone, but it doesn't want to get off the apps because it has some spiritual meaning for him. It's like
spiritual.
No, I mean like psychological identity meaning. Once I delete these profiles, it means like, what am I doing? I'm getting in like an adult relationship.
Do you have to delete the profiles? Can't you just like not go on for a while? Like, do you have to pay like a new like sign up fee and get a new password and a new CAPTCHA every time?
I don't know.
Break up with someone?
I don't know. I am not on apps. I got off. OkCupid was my last ring of the tree.
Oh, they didn't even have that then.
OkCupid?
I don't think it was on an app. I think you had to like go to the.
You had to go to the actual
You
World
had to go
Wide
to the
Web.
video store and look at a computer.
That's right. You had to go to an internet cafe.
Yeah.
And you would go to an internet cafe and you would log into your account. This was back in. Did you?
Aw.
No. What do you mean? Aw.
I just think it's just like.
So sweet that I got off the apps for you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, every time someone goes to an app, you would hope. Well, I guess it's different for different people. That guy's boyfriend's just going to like find some hot sex, probably.
Well, a lot of people are doing that. That's what I.
A
use
lot
them
of people
for.
are going to apps like looking for a partner.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, a lot of different options on the internet.
I'm glad we didn't meet on the internet.
I'm glad we didn't also, but there is someone on the internet I'd like you to meet. It's just a person from one of the apps that I was on. It's called openitup.com. Just kidding. Tosh, I even no matter what, no matter how hard it is to be a wife in the pandemic, no matter how much you want me to go swimming with great whites or go on the road for 90 days straight, I still love you.
Is that an option?
It is. But you know what else is an option?
What?
I love you.
I can't say it.
Just please say it for me. Just, I need it.
Just...
It's my love language.
love you.
What are you?
I love you.
Kermit the Frog
I
over
love
there?
you. It was hard.
I know. It can be tough.
Some days are hard.
Okay, well, we'll be back next week with another installation of the Endless Honeymoon Podcast.